Beautiful souls, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Sorry, my hair is a little having a moment there. How wonderful it is to connect with you guys. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Self Love Sundays. As always, love you so much. Thank you for joining me here in the Zoom. Oh, one moment. Let's mute that. Mute the wrong one. There you go. All right. Beloved souls, we have so much to talk about today because there's so much happening energetically in the field and lots of work that we need to observe and tune into. It's been a very, very busy week with a lot of really exciting projects and collaborations. You'll be seeing a lot of some new interviews that I've been doing recently. I'll be publishing those tomorrow. Will be published an interview that I did with Debbie Dashinger on her channel. I'll go ahead and share that as soon as it's available, and that'll be fun to share with you guys. Let me tap into the YouTube here. I'm going to just share this video, make sure that everybody, hi James, Aryong, welcome. So thank you so much for being here. Let me share this out. And if you guys want to share, please do too. There we go. Jay Zen, great to see you. All right, beautiful soul. So, how have you guys been doing? How have you guys been this week? Have you guys been holding up? How have your meditations been? Your daily meditations, how are those going? I have the chat here. My favorite time of the week, Margot. Love you. Welcome. Nick, thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's jump into it. I've had some interesting questions. I posted a presentation that I did based on the reincarnation cycle and also one on the laws of creation. There are some interesting questions there that I'd love to touch on. But I'd like to also spend this time going a little bit deeper into what is happening energetically right now, because a lot of you are going through transitions and experiencing a lot of the changes that are happening energetically in the world. And one of those things is attuning yourself to the earth grid. And as I mentioned in a couple of my presentations previously, that all of this evolution that we're going through, all this ascension that we're going through, remember that your subtle body, your energy body is picking up the frequencies of the universe, and any changes that are happening cosmically in this universe are moving us along in the direction of our ascension. And so we want to be conscious of what we're doing in our bodies, how we are holding energy in the body. Why? Because the more you activate your connection to the earth, and I mentioned grounding is essential, GPAC, grounding, protecting, aligning, co-creating. But the more that you connect to the center of the earth, the more you are connecting to the memory system of the universe. So I'm going to talk about something that I haven't quite gotten deep into, and it's looking at the Akashic records. And we have two systems of memory and that we tune into when we incarnate into this planet. We have the ancestral lineage, which is through your DNA, and you also have your etheric lineage, which is your ancestry, your star seed lineages, everything that is part of the larger construct of frequency. Okay, everything that is within the ancestral lineage of your human bloodlines, all your ancestors down all the generations of bloodlines that you have in your history, in your DNA. These are held in the crystalline energy system of the planet, but also it's through your DNA. And this is why I mentioned that the more that you ground, the more that you connect to the earth, the more that you connect to that memory. And healing and ascension is not just about thinking about the higher octaves of our body, because in this channel, we work a lot on connecting up to the higher dimensional planes, up to the 24th. But we also want to connect to the earth grid. Why? Because you are an extension of the earth. You are a fractal of the earth, and you're a fractal of the universe. And when you start disconnecting from the earth, a lot of people go through this dark phase of their awakening where they say, oh, I'm not really human. I don't really belong here. I'm not, I don't belong to my family. Well, there is nothing that exists without exactitude, perfection, and divine order. And so your very existence is part of an it's interconnected web of consciousness and an intelligence of self-organizing the information of all that you are into your manifestation. So there, it's just impossible for you not to have a very profound meaning to your existence, a profound direction and quality to the reason why you're here on this planet. And the sooner you remember that, the quicker you're going to move through challenging life experiences. Okay, so it's the same thing with everything. The more that you are in the lower state of consciousness of separation, the harder it is for you to see yourself as the all, and you begin to see everything as separation. So this is part of this awareness that we really need. It's part of the maturing. Okay, so I talked about this year from 2025 into 2027 is going to be a moment of major maturing for humanity. We're going to go through a growth spurt against essentially the human race is growing up, it's maturing, looking at very deep shadows of its own self and seeing that reflected in the collective, but also understanding higher power, higher order. And we're recognizing that higher order through a deeper connection with this energy system, a deeper connection with Earth, a deeper connection with nature. The more that you connect with nature, the more that you connect with these systems, the more that you naturally can recognize those kinds of cyclical patterns of evolution, ascension, healing, all of these things that are available to you. And why it's essential for us to harness that, because that is pure life force. You are pure energy. And the more you see yourself as separate, the more you see yourself as powerless, and you start kind of not really seeing yourself as this powerful creator. And so part of the maturing process is understanding and taking responsibility for that creative power. Okay. So I want to share with you a little bit about this energy grid system in order to kind of understand how this functions. So let me open that up. And as always, if you guys have any questions, please put them in capital letters. It will be my pleasure to answer your questions. I was just walking by the beach earlier, and my hair is just enjoying that free wind look still. So please excuse that. Okay, let me come over here. And what I want to open up is I want to share with you yeah, and so a lot of this information I actually talked about many, many years ago, but I kind of really want to revisit this. I talk about this when I talk about grounding from the center of the earth. And so I want to share this so you understand, because there's a couple of really interesting things that are happening in the universe. And one of them is, of course, that three-eye atlas. And as I mentioned, nothing enters into this energy system, into this universe without purpose. What it's showing us is how we are activating into the earth, which it's showing us how we are going to change. Effectively, everything is changing. Okay, here, this is what I want to show you. Let me share this. So get this going here. Okay. All right. So, the solar system, the way that the solar system functions, every single planetary system in this solar system is a frequency. It's managing a certain vibration frequency. It moves at a certain vibrational rate. And for some of you that are familiar with the music of the spheres, I have an entire presentation on this, but every single planet is moving to create a certain geometric structure, okay? These geometric structures are vibrational frequency. They are essentially a vibrational frequency pathways that these planets essentially are laying out. And our human body is attuning to these same pathways every time that we enhance a certain chakra body, because every planet of this solar system is connected to every single planet in this solar system is connected to a planet. Every planet is connected to a chakra. I'm sorry to sound distracted. I'm trying to add the people that are coming in right now. So let me go ahead and make sure that I have everybody. Take that off so you guys can just come on in. Okay, perfect. Disable the waiting room. Okay. And so what happens is that each one of these planets in the solar system are also operating at a base platonic solid, because as you can see, the geometric structures that are created by the movement of the planets over the processions of years, essentially they create these kind of harmonic geometric systems. And each of these is showing the procession of the evolution of a platonic solid. In the same way that we are moving through, spiraling through the universe, each one of these planets are moving. And every time that our body is processing through one of the chakras more than the other, because they're connected to each of these planets, we are engaging in that energy. We are engaging in the energy of those planets. We're engaging in that frequency of these planets. So each one of these frequencies that we're tuning into, it's very important to understand how they affect us, because they are affecting the subconscious mind. They're affecting the core belief system. Our belief systems are based on vibrational frequencies. When we come out of harmony with this 0 point, which is everything in balance, this is where we start feeling very lost and disconnected. So the sun in itself, the sun is deeply connected to your plasma system. And I mentioned before that the sun is a gateway. It's a portal. It's not just a giant ball of fire. In fact, it's actually it's a 0 point energy system that the core of this planet is actually cool. It's not hot. But that is because of the kind of energy system that it functions as. In 2017, I was shown that the sun is made up of souls, soul energy, and there would be produced by these Anunnaki beings little micro suns that were made up of soul energy. And it was from that soul energy that souls were anchored into the planet. They were brought in through the, I guess, manipulation, you can say, or intentional creation of allocating this soul energy into the incorporation of a body. And the purpose of that was to expand the ability of this sun to create and procreate on the planet Earth. And it's been done many, many times. But every single human that has this soul connection, that has a connection to the soul, is connecting to the language of the solar system. It's connecting to the language of the universe, which is why in ancient mystery schools, when we learned how to align our chakras and when we brought the chakras into harmonic order, you can hear different tones, different sounds, different frequencies. And in a lot of Asian practices, certain tones and mantras are utilized to bring the chakras into cleaning or healing or expansion of the energy centers. So a lot of this information has been hidden, but essentially how we expand and contract each of the chakras will define how we are working with each of these planetary systems. And in this Earth grid, planetary systems, how they influence us has been manipulated. That is something that has happened for sure. For example, you see a lot of symbology of Saturn, you see a lot of symbology of Mars, you see a lot of symbology of the moon. And there's very profound reasons for that. I'm not going to go terribly into that right now, but essentially these are basically the foundations, and the manipulation of the inversion of those energies are how you manipulate people, how you manipulate humanity. And how humanity is manipulated through the first three chakras, primarily the root, the sacral, and the solar. Okay, so these main energy systems are essentially your emotions, your nervous system, the bioelectrical system, all three in the solar plexus core. And then all of those are intricately connected with the sacral, which is your sexual energy, your creative potential, how you bring life into this world, why you bring life into this world, and the root, which is your grounding, your actual embodiment, your ability to accept the awareness inside of this physical vessel in this temporary experience. So anytime that we become separate from this understanding, this deep, deep understanding, this connection to these energy systems, or we overuse one of them, our perception is it's severely skewed and inverted. It's severely inverted. And so the external world takes on and manipulates those things. Okay. The construct of the design of this system, the houses that we live in, the shape of the structures of the houses that we live on, they are energy grids, right? So when there are strong, remember, shapes and forms are not just random shapes and forms. It's not just an artistic expression. It's energy pathways. Every shape is an energy pathway. So in ancient cultures, our houses were like domes. And then other generations of ancient civilizations, they were like pyramids. So every era where we've reached high levels of technology in the society, our entire system changed, even the structures of our homes, because they were holding different patterns of energy. And so right now, as we are evolving, we're going to start seeing a lot of that change in the future. And the invitation is that depending on how you hold your energy, you are pulling more towards natural energy systems, not only internally but externally, right? So you're wearing clothes that's more natural, right? Or like organic cotton. You're wearing things like linen. You're wearing things like high vibrational frequency that will help move and help your conductivity. Okay. And because what's been infused into the system is plastic, right? All kinds of plastic, all kinds of toxic metals. We want to wear, even the metals that we're wearing, we want to wear gold, highly conductive, or silver, highly conductive metals that are producing, because we don't realize, but all of these little things are genetically modifying us. And they also they can genetically modifying and putting us into a deeper state of sleep. We're drugged by consumerism, we're drugged by sex, we're drugged by everything that pulls us away from that natural connection to the subtle energies of the intuition of connecting to more complex energy structures. So this is a part of the healing that we're going through on this planet. And we'll see our society changing really rapidly. We're going to see our society changing with the influx of these energetic systems. Now, that's that. Okay, so I'm talking about the superficial layer of this energy system. Okay, and let's go down to the DNA, right? Because what happens in the DNA is that any kind of alterations that have been done through the manipulation of planetary energy, okay, because I talked about in one of my interviews that our calendar system is messed up. We should actually have 13 months. We have 13 astrological signs, and I've talked about this since a very long time. But this idea that everything is based on this Gregorian calendar is actually incorrect. It's actually an inversion of natural order. Okay, and that's a mathematical error. It's a mathematical misrepresentation of how energy flows in this universe correctly. Okay, so we each one of these planets of this solar system, and watch that we are going to be discovering more planets in our solar system in the coming years. because more of these bodies will be seen as planetary systems. And every time something enters into the solar system is a body of highly advanced self-organized energy. Okay, it's a conscious being. The solar system, every planet is a conscious being. This earth is a conscious being. We are an extension of that consciousness, of that being. And so that's why getting lost in the matrix, in the physical external stimulation of things, is completely inversion of nature. And that's why we're so disconnected from this wisdom that has existed since the beginning of time. And if you connect, you will see all of this pretty clearly. You will understand your connection to the planets. So astrology, astrologically, and I'm talking about universal astrology, we have a deep interconnection with the systems. I'm not talking about horoscope in the newspaper. No, I'm talking about the really deeper esoteric knowledge and wisdom about how planetary energy systems are moving through our body and affect especially the subconscious mind. Okay, and so how you're going to learn that, and how I learned astrology, is by studying my body from the inside, understanding the chakras, understanding how subconsciously my belief systems in the root were inverted or out of balance, how my heart chakra was contracted in the back and expanded in the front, how it was managing love or accepting, or self-acceptance or self-worth. All of these things archetypally, each and every one of you are peeling layers archetypally of that information. And you will understand that, because when there are massive cosmic events, these things will come up for you. And there's a reason for that, because cosmic movements and the movements of the planetary system are part of the language of evolution. You are evolving. You're part of this evolutionary spiral. The entire universe is moving through this spiral, and as we are moving, I mean, everything is moving in this toroidal energy system. These energy systems, as the solar system is moving, every part of you, every cell of your body is evolving, whether you like it or not. We are ascending. And in the matter that we're ascending is through the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, there's a certain harmonic order. Every single human on this planet is learning how to return back into harmonic order in order to experience this ascension system. See, we're moving through here, and right now we are moving from the 13 energy structure into 21. Okay, what does that mean? It means a lot of different things. Okay. And so a lot of people are saying that because the Three Eye Atlas is here, this is happening, but actually this was happening already before that. Okay, so a lot of people are saying that, and I understand why they're saying it, because maybe that information is becoming more available to more people. But in reality, we've been moving into the 21 energy structure, which means 21 DNA strand activation already. For it's been coming for. It's mathematically calculated for humanity. Okay, so however, what the Three Eye Atlas is bringing is essentially it's bringing in a fresh veil of activated energy into this solar system. Okay, and so because the veil is thinning, we can see more of the activity that's happening in the solar system. As I mentioned, we're going to discover more planets. We're going to discover more comets. It's going to be inevitable to hide these kinds of things, these bodies of consciousness that are moving through us, as above, so below. Okay. And so the activation of the 21 energy bodies is the activation of DNA, where we are pulling our information on a daily basis, not just from ancestral memory, but we're pulling it from all the structure of our memory. Okay, the morphogenetic field is coming online in a powerful way, where because the spectrum of light is expanding, of visibility for humanity is expanding. That's the activation of DNA. When we start entering into a higher octave, we can see more than the human eye perceives through the spectrum of light. We're seeing beyond that. And so what we can see with that is essentially multidimensionally, okay? These the basic forms of structures of light, of frequency, allow you to see, you can see a lot of UFOs or UAPs, they call them. But I'm not talking about terrestrial technology. And this week, I'm going to do a presentation on, I'm sorry, one second. I'm doing a presentation on, where's, sorry guys, one second. I had it. Okay, I can't deal with that right now. I missed the delivery. My apologies. Okay, so each one of these geometric forms, which we are attuning to, see, every time that you enter into an initiation, you have an initiation. What's an initiation? Every time that you are pushed psychologically, emotionally, physically out of your comfort zone into the integration of a higher perception of awareness, you are changing the way light is moving through your energy body. You are opening, every time you allow that initiation, you allow expansion, you are changing the way that light is moving through your body, and our bodies become more complex every time. Okay. And so you guys know that essentially we embody this Merkaba, and the Merkaba is essentially redirecting this basic energy that is depleting through the earth. We are redirecting it into harmonic order from expansion of the heart. Okay, so the heart chakra comes into balance. Now you'll notice that in this system, one of the things that this A3i Atlas is bringing as a symbology, because of what it's made out of, is the tetrahedron. The tetrahedron is the platonic solid. It's the core basic format of the material of this comet. And it is literally inviting humanity to come in and work with the balancing of their energy structure and their energy system. And it will bring that influence into the planetary system. Okay, but again, yes, you're remembering that because it's coming, but it's not happening because that's coming. It's been happening. It's been happening for a while. So we have an earth tetrahedron and we have a solar tetrahedron, as they say. Why? Because you are earth and you are the universe. You are one with everything. Your body is the unifying force of all of these systems of intelligence. Okay. And so with the earth tetrahedron, for some people, it's inverted. Okay. So what happens is that these systems are inverted for most people. And let me see if I can find that graphic, because just to show you, what happens when you're in a depletion state. You are centrifugal in your energy system, where everything is depleting out of your body. You're leaking life force, and your attention is to the external material world. So that would be this right here. Okay. So what happens? The root chakra wide open, sacral wide open, out of balance, solar plexus out of balance, whatever. Each one of those are going to be out of balance, overactive, in the body, out of the body, blocked. So here's what happens. Your energy is moving. Okay, so you are geometry. You are geometry all the time. You are geometry. So however you are holding your energies in your body, you are creating pathways of life force. The thing is to become aware of the connection psychologically, emotionally, bioelectrically, and etherically. What does that mean? It means a lot. When your attention is to the external material world, this is what your energy system is looking like. Okay, when you have no connection, when you're not coming from compassion, when you're not coming from your truth, when you're not coming from love, okay, from that unifying coherence, when it's impossible for you to experience coherence. Pay attention, because if you are having a hard time experiencing coherence with nature, with beauty, with people around you, you are in separation. And it can be very painful for a person to try to feel coherence because they're terrified. They're terrified of all kinds of programs that keep them separate from themselves and others. Okay. Hold on just 1 second. I have a. Okay. All right. So, what happens if we redirect that energy essentially is this. Okay. So, what is happening right now? If we come and we integrate the root, the sacral, the solar, we begin to redirect that creative life force back into the heart for creation, for manifestation. And so the geometric energy system begins to change. That's how you begin to create your Merkaba. Okay. Also, your connection with source. When it's completely disconnected, your crown is teeny tiny. Your crown is maybe even non-existent. You're not even paying attention to your crown energy. You have no connection to your higher self. The crown, and this is where I was getting to, is the connection to your ancestral DNA. It is the connection to Earth DNA. But guess what? You have 2 points of connection to your DNA, not just the crown chakra. We have another chakra, which I talked about last week, underneath the feet, okay, that connects down to the center of the earth. And this is where we start going into a little deeper understanding of our energy bodies. That the Merkaba, it's not just a reconnection inside the body, it's a connection to everything. It's the connection to the entire universe. So we are always taught about the chakras in the body. Sometimes we're taught about the chakras at the top, but we're not taught about the chakras that go down into the center of the earth. And there's a very big reason for that. Because when you are disconnected from the earth, you're disconnected from everything. Okay? So we have a chakra. We have as many chakras as we have above, we also have below. Okay? And those chakras go all the way down into quantum levels, very quantum, even beyond quantum. Okay, so our human mind can't understand that. It goes down to the very structure of the creation of reality. Okay, and so the earth functions as an antenna that connects with all of the other planets. It is receiving information from the earth. And this, every time that we have solar energy, every single planet receives information from the sun. So this is where we start to understand what is happening. Now, let's see if we can move this down here just to show you, okay? So bear with me. It doesn't mean we don't have chakras there. We're just moving it here so you guys can see the chakras that we have going into the earth. The same way that we have a crown chakra, okay? This is your crown. We're going to make this your crown chakra up here. Your crown chakra is connecting to the ancestral lineage. It connects to the DNA of the earth. What is included in the DNA of the earth? Okay, it is your ancestral lineages. All of the past lives of all of your ancestors and your connections to them, because you are them. You are one with them. But the crown is also connecting to your what we're going to call intergalactic, but in reality, it's your starseed lineages, it's all of the other DNAs that you have, because the fractals of yourself are existing simultaneously on other planetary systems. Okay, so all of your soul fractals that are currently coexisting in other solar and all other systems of consciousness, we are all connecting through the DNA. It's everything is in the DNA. It is there for you. And you can access that data through the crown. and you can access it through the eighth. The eighth chakra on top of that is the connection to source. So that's basically everything, all of your higher systems. And the beauty of this body is that it's the same way that we have these systems here. We also have them on an even higher octave above. Okay. So the same thing here, the chakra underneath the feet, one of the most important chakra energy systems in the body, directly connects to the earth grid. And you see, because your conductivity system, when you create the Merkaba, the 2 points of your Merkaba are here and up here. These are the anchoring points into the connection to higher octave systems, energy systems. And down here, lower octave energy systems that go into the earth grid. But the earth grid, it's a crystalline energy system. That's why I mentioned many times that whenever we go, whenever we're moving, or whenever we have a call to go visit somewhere, go to a sacred site, this is where we start to really access the memory of past lives. Okay, because when you're moving on Earth, let me just show you. I wish there was some way to show you. I had it in another presentation. I'm not that prepared today, guys. So sorry. I should have made another system here. Show you this. You know what? I think I have it in my presentation here. I want to show you how the earth grids actually move. Hello. Okay, right here. Bear with me, guys. Earth grid map. Yeah, we could look at that one. Yeah, so, oh, here it is. Okay, we'll start with this one. Here we go. Okay, so we know the chakras of the earth, okay? So in 2017, I was shown a map of the world, and I was shown a map of all the major energy systems in the world. And of course, they are coinciding with the chakras of the planet Earth. Okay, so in the same way that planets are connected to your chakra energy system, also connected with the planets of the Earth. And it's very interesting. This goes into a beautiful science of blood types, cultural origins, races, the color of your skin. It goes into the vibrational frequency of the archetypes that you are born into and that are layered into your ancestral lineage. It is a very beautiful self-organizing system of vibrational frequency. You hold within your DNA all of the races, all the cultural influences. When I say cultural influence, I'm not talking about the rituals and practices. I'm talking about the archetypal imprints that certain races have brought into the earth. Really deep psychology, deep subconscious programming that has been brought in through through the different races of the planet. Why? Because they are an accumulation of generations of evolution. And when we trace back the history of each of these origins, how they have changed genetically through history, there is an emotional evolutionary system that is processing through that. And you are playing those out because that is in your memory. That's in your memory. And if there are certain things that are hard for you to break, that are just impossible, like unworthiness programs, for example, are really deep in certain race groups. Okay, and some of these are genetically engineered for a reason, but also the strength of these bloodlines for many generations have been overcoming because of their starseed lineages. Not only are you overcoming these beliefs in the earth, you're also overcoming them archetypally from your Pleiadian races or Lyran races or Andromedan races. They too are trying to overcome these kinds of archetypal limitations. So you hold these lineages of your starseed lineages with your ancestral lineages, and all of that information is available to you through these chakra systems. Okay. And so what happens is that when you start activating DNA, what I mentioned, you start healing your trauma. That is the key. Healing your trauma, healing your triggers on a daily basis will lead you to this understanding. Because if you begin to look at your life and the main emotional programs, the overlays that you're repeating and you can't break, now you know part of your purpose. Now you know what you're cleaning up in this. The invitation to experience the alchemy of these limiting belief systems. Okay, so you're going to finish your life. You're going to see your whole life. You start cleaning up those contracts. You're going to start seeing past lives, and you're going to have lots of lives with mother. You're going to have lots of lives, past lives with father in different roles. You can have past lives with brother and sister. It could be that your brother was your mom in your past life. It could be that, you know, your partner or your wife was your cousin in your past life. And so, you know, whatever those storylines are, those belief systems that emerge from those life experiences, you're reliving and you're working on those. Okay, so when we talk about karma, because there's an old concept that says whatever punishment you've done or whatever injustice you've done in the past, you're going to relive and experience in this lifetime. Kind of a not really. That's not really how it functions. And I mentioned this in my presentation about karma. It's cause and effect, but it's on a higher level. Whatever you don't learn, you repeat, is really what's happening. Okay, so that's different. Okay, so you might think that the lesson of, let's say, physical abuse was, to be this martyr and to be victimized by these people. And so the alchemy is to find your power. But on a deeper level, it could be for you to understand your worth and to accept being a human, or to accept, your wisdom or your intuition. It could be many different variations. They're very different frequencies. So those subtle things you might be learning in this lifetime by having a high level educator's position, and then you fail because your ego gets in the way. Okay, so similarly, you're repeating the same pattern. It's about your deeper understanding, your acceptance of your power on a deeper level. And so we can only recognize these lessons, these subtle lessons, by digging deep into the emotional programs that we have within us. Okay, so let's talk about the ancestral lineage. Each one of these chakras, the earth is a crystalline energy grid. Each one of these chakra systems in the body is designed to help us evolve and experience certain lessons. The earth is organized by vibrational frequency as well. We have heart chakra, we have sacral chakra, root chakra, all the chakras of the planet Earth that are here, that are holding energy systems. This energy grid system, whenever we move through there, we highlight certain belief systems, certain programs. In my life experience, I've experienced moving to different countries and having incredible, powerful experiences. For example, I'm not from Mexico. I'm Bolivian, and we won't go into that. But I had so many powerful past lives in Mexico, and the memories and dreams that came back to me when I moved there were so powerful. I had near-death experience there that changed my trajectory, and I had to experience that. Why? Because when I was bit by the scorpion and I went into anaphylactic shock and I died, what was shown to me in that afterlife? The scorpion showed up to me. The scorpion is a masterful symbol of the scorpionic energy, which is the deepest occult, the deepest shadow, the deepest subconscious aspect of humanity. And that was the one that I needed to overcome. And all the events leading up into that moment had led me to experience things that had brought that to my attention until that moment of death when I realized what that was about. And so then when I understood coming back into the body, that's when I began to understand even deeper the understanding of creative life force, pure, raw creative life force, sexual energy, the divine element of sexual energy. Okay, so these are things that it comes to a lot of people. When I was speaking in Glastonbury, so many people had activations. They remembered their past lives there. When we went to visit the Druids, for example, same thing happened to me. I had memories again. And this is how we clean up. So for some people, it's important to travel around the world and to activate these energy grids. But there you don't need to travel. You can also experience it by remote viewing these systems, these energy systems, through the chakras, through the lower energy grid system. Okay, so the first layer of the earth is this crystalline energy grid from which we are highlighting and connecting to. And essentially, the more that we come into harmonic order, the more we can receive the information that comes from there. The sun, when it goes into high activity, it is a clear indication of how we are going through activated DNA. Why? Because the sun is connected to your plasma, it's connected to your DNA. So some of you, as you saw how I got very sick this last eclipse, because again, there's grid system activations that are happening. Okay, and I'm not saying this because you need to get sick in order to learn something. Please don't take that as a subconscious idea. That's not it. The more you come into 0 point, the less you are affected by everything. But you will be affected in order to help you learn what you need to learn, to pay attention to the things that you need to pay attention. And so energy is very important. How you are managing your energy, how you're holding your energy, energetic space, that you're not depleting your life force emotionally on things that are happening outside of you that are telling you they're super important. We need to be in survival energy. No, anything that tells you need to be in survival energy is an inversion of natural order. You need to come into high levels of reconnection with yourself. Fill your body with self-love. Fill your body, every cell of your body with self-love. Learn to be in that ebb and flow of energy constantly through your breath, through your awareness, that you are releasing what you need to release, receiving constantly from your environment, from the chi, this ocean of chi, which surrounds us, life force. Okay. And so with more solar activity, we're having a lot of earthquakes on the planet Earth because the energy is moving, it's shifting, it's changing. And so when you connect to the earth, you can actually change timelines. You can heal the planet Earth from its imbalanced state. Remember that you create your reality and you're going to experience what you need for your highest, but you can change your experience. You can decide how you are experiencing things. So whenever we connect to the chakras of the earth, you can begin to activate the lower 3 chakras of your body underneath the root. Each of these lower chakras are connected to the chakras of the main body. So this chakra underneath the feet, it's connected to the root chakra. It's also connected to the heart. The way that energy organizes in the body is in groups of 3. Every 3 chakras, there's a micro frequency change. You go into a higher octave. Okay, so it's 3, 6, 9, these divine numbers that are in the body, because we are moving in order of the Fibonacci. This is spiral energy systems. So in the same way, these 3 chakras underneath your body are connected to your root, your heart, and your crown. So the ancestral DNA is connected to this chakra underneath the feet. We want to learn how to activate that chakra. Some of you might be having a hard time grounding, and it's because we're not working with these chakras. Okay, so directly under that, we have the connection that's connected to the solar energy system, the crystalline energy system. And that means universal information comes in through the lower chakras. Okay. The chakra underneath that, the third one, this connects to really deep ancestral energy systems of the universe, of the solar system. Now, why it's important to connect to that is because you are beginning to access information about how we're moving, why we're moving, and it's a portal to access downloads into more unity consciousness for yourself. It's the unifying chakra that unifies the earth with the planets, the sun, and then the greater energy system of the universe. Okay. So this is where we want to start working with that information and that energy. And what will also happen, remember that these chakras, they're not just little circles or energy systems just directly under the body. They are entire spheres of the body. And one of the most powerful ways to protect yourself in nature is the activation of these force fields of the lower chakras underneath the body. Okay, we talked about body of glass, where you see yourself as light. Okay, well, when you see yourself as light, you also go into nature and you become one with nature. When you activate this chakra underneath you, this is how you get to literally embody the frequency of earth, of a forest, of plants, and you become invisible in this natural energy systems. How I've used that is that one time when I was a child, we used to go to the jungle in South American Bolivia, the Amazon jungle. Oh my God, it is so magnificently powerful, powerful, powerful. I mean, you are humbled by the vibrancy and life force that comes from the vibrant jungles over there. It's intimidating. The leaves are the size of your body, one leaf, and so everything is just energy, full of life. And there's a lot of things in there that can kill you. There's things that can, poison you. You poison plants, poison little animals, all kinds of predators around you. And the human is so distorted in their energy system that comes from the city, especially if you're not doing any kind of energy work. You bring that energy into the forest, you're easy prey energetically, right? So one of the techniques that I learned is that when you activate this chakra underneath your feet and you also come into a body of glass, you attune naturally with the natural energy systems of nature. And it's amazing. It's like animals will come to you, but they will not pick up harm from you because you are at the frequency of nature. You will notice animals will come to you. They will connect with you. Everything from a butterfly in your hand or hummingbirds coming to connect with you. So this is really important. And because part of the vision expansion that we're experiencing in humanity at this time, where we're expanding from this, our vision is expanding, our spectrum of visible light is expanding in order for us to align with these evolutionary systems. We are beginning to connect. And many of the energy systems that surround us, there's so many things we don't see because we have our energy, because our vision is limited. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you today in this week, and I invite you to work with that. So let's jump into the meditation. And if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and put them in capital letters. I'll be so happy to answer them. Margot says, during the full moon, I experienced many geometric structures, lotus flowers, triangles, and circles, many shapes. Does this mean anything? Yeah, so as I mentioned, every one of you has a different way of translating frequency information, frequency energy. Okay. So um, your job is to use your intuition and connect with each of the shapes and forms that were shown to you and notice what's being downloaded. A lot of people speak language of light, okay, light language, which is, say it's a channeling of sounds and frequencies. But when you develop that, you notice that the sounds and the frequencies that you speak, it creates geometric forms. Okay. And so Arcturians, Andromedans, Pleiadians, a lot of these high dimensional frequency beings, we're speaking to geometric structures. You heal people by moving energy systems in the body in this way. You could do it through sound. You could do it, through your hands, channeling energy through. Okay. Stone Hobbit, how far back do we have to go before the generations were modified and the difference between that and created? Thank you for holding space. Stone, great to see you. How far back do we have to go back before the generations? Yeah, that's a really interesting question. But you see, for every person, you're going to pick up on different part of history also, because you're a puzzle piece to the bigger history. And it depends on how many incarnations you've had in this planet. Okay, so it depends, how much what you need to learn specifically is what it depends on, actually. It depends on what you need to learn about those modifications. Okay, so for some of you, you're going to see thousands of lives where you have experienced the influences of these kinds of modifications in your genetic lineage. And the point is not to find the modifications, but rather the inversions of natural order, where we have created filters of perceptions that go outside of natural order. We just want to redirect them, bring them back into harmonic order. And so, this might seem like a big job, but you will see it will become simplified. And I've explained this many times in earlier videos that all you're doing ever is you're learning how to choose between love and fear. That's all you're doing. That's all you've ever been doing. And that's what the great thing about this dimension, believe it or not, is that it's dualistic. You only have two things to move through to learn how to alchemize. You're alchemizing, let's say, from fear into love. Okay. There are other dimensions that are more complex. Okay. And so also, the higher octave you go, you're learning these things in more complex ways until you see everything as one. Okay. So honestly, the further back you go, it'll be more clear to see this. And so your job is to transmute your fear back into love, separation into unity. That's all you're going to be doing. Um, and yeah, so you will know when you have gone through all the lives that you need to see. The invitation is to see them all, right? But in a way, that's kind of impossible because we exist simultaneously in everything. Okay. And so when you die, you see yourself as all again. Okay. But we can reach that in this lifetime. You can reach that. I've seen that. And I know many of you have experienced that with near-death experiences, all kinds of different contact experiences that have led you to understand what it means to be truly in the 0 point. So you can create that. Michelle says, regarding sacred housing, what type of housing would you build if you were building? Yes, non-toxic, but the structure design. It depends on what your energy system is most like. For me, for example, dome houses have been the most beneficial energetically that I've seen. And in the Pleiades, we have a lot of those dome kind of structures. I've also seen them, Andromedans and Arcturians have very, very high rise kind of triangular pyramidal buildings. Yeah. and I can't remember the name, but I think it's called an icosahedron. Please excuse me, I don't remember the name of a very acute pyramid. If you guys know the name, tell me. I can't find it right now. But anyway, yeah, so though they use those kinds of energy structures. So a little bit different, but also remember that their bodies are quite different. They're very tall beings, they're very slender. And it's all quite energetic. But we essentially, the more we become higher dimensional frequency, we become less form. Okay. And so essentially you learn to become one with everything around you, with nature. And essentially you don't need a structure to reside in because you are one with your environment. So yeah, so I would look at every person's going to be different because I would look at your ancestral history, what you resonate, what you need energetically. And if you can study things like Schauberger, for example, who talks about energy structures and toroidal energy systems, um, it's how you structure water energetically, and it's how cities were built before using spiral energy waterways. Everything from ancient Egyptians, Iranians to Mesopotamia to ancient Jordan to Mexico, the Mayans, the Incas, they all use very complex energy waterways in their cities, and that's how we brought harmony back into the city structures. Okay, so it's a little different. What was the name? Yeah, Schauberger. Um, I have his information on my website. His name was Victor Schauberger. Okay, so you guys can look him up. He's wonderful. I love his books, are phenomenal. Okay, guys, let's get into the meditation and I'll answer some more questions at the end. Okay? All right. Inhale deeply. Allow yourself to come fully into your body. Go ahead and connect down to the center of the earth. Focus on the root chakra at the base of the spine. Go ahead and shrink the root chakra down to the size of a dime. The sacral, the solar, expanding your heart, your throat, your third eye. Go ahead and activate your crown, expanding your crown. Go ahead and visualize a sphere around your body made out of something completely impenetrable. Own your space. We're going to start running energy. Go ahead and visualize that you're absorbing green earth energy from your feet as if they were straws. Go ahead and pull earth energy up your feet, up your legs, into your solar plexus, creating a vortex of energy. Breathe deeply. From source, go ahead and pull down a powerful wave of gold cosmic energy that comes down through the crown of your head, combining with the green earth energy. Feel that powerful rotation of earth and cosmic energy through your body. Go ahead and take 10% of that back down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and take 80% of this combination up your spine from the crown of your head, coating the outside of your body, outside of your bubble, outside of your sphere. You're going to clear your connection to the matrix, to the illusion. Imagine that you're cutting cords with people, places, and things that you've been in contact with, calling your energy back into your body. Call back your energy into your body. You'll notice how more gathered you're going to feel. more focused, more in your body. Remember to continuously ground yourself down to the center of the earth. Be in your body, don't float out. Come into the observer, not just the feeler. Finally, go ahead and take 10% of that green and gold energy and infuse it into every cell of your body. Green and gold cosmic energy into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular levels of your body. Let's go ahead and start cleaning our energetic space. I want you to clean your energy body from the crown of your head down to the base of your feet, working all 360 degrees around your entire energy body. You're cleaning 13 layers of energy body. Visualize clearing out all those blocks, thought forms, pain, depression, anxiety, stagnation, illness, anger, whatever it is that you have in your field, all the pictures of the past, fear of the future. Clear your energy body and bring yourself fully into a clear space. You can visualize you have a vacuum underneath you, an extremely powerful vortex that absorbs all of that down, just dissolves out of your body, out of your energy body. You'll notice your mind becomes more clear. You'll notice your energy becomes lighter, more expansive. You'll be able to be more peaceful and more in the present moment. Go ahead and begin by looking at your karma room where all the karmic contracts are located. Go ahead and take a look at that room. Shine your crown light. Go ahead and illuminate your crown. You're going to see your creative color, the color of your higher self. And you're going to align that color with every area of your life, your career, family. I want you to set the intention that your higher self is fully embodying in you now. And you are going to manage all of the aspects of your life from this perception of the higher self. Your health, vitality, abundance, money, sexual energy, creativity, relationships, partnerships, children, and finally your purpose. Would expand your crown chakra. You're going to shine it on top of your karmic karma runes, where you see all those contractual agreements of the experiences that you're here to learn. You're going to gently dissolve them with that crown chakra. And go into the room where you have all those shadows, the shadows in the life. People that don't have your best interest or parasitic relationships that are out of balance. Just go ahead and see a bunch of shadows in that room. You're going to shine your light, dissolving each one of them. You're going to see a pile of sticks. We're going to break those karmic contracts. Just visualize a pile of sticks. I'm just going to break them in half. They represent the cords, attachments that we might have. We're going to go deeper. Go ahead and focus on the strongest emotion that you had last week or yesterday. Take a look. Go ahead and name out the emotions that start coming up. Focus on the strongest one. Be absolutely present with that emotion. Okay, select the strongest of that list and allow yourself to feel that emotion fully in your body. Notice the part of the body that tenses up when you feel that emotion. Notice the emotion that you're feeling. Name out the emotions that are coming up. Observing carefully, noticing how your body contracts. Go ahead and take that emotion. And I want you to take yourself back to the very first time where you felt this emotion. Take yourself back. Begin to observe the pattern that you are repeating. Watch yourself in this memory. Take a look at yourself and what you're experiencing and notice how you are continuing to experience this emotion, how you are reacting and responding to it. Allow yourself to acknowledge what you need in that moment. What is it that you most need? The internal self. Acknowledge what you need. Acknowledge why you need what you need. Begin to observe who is needing. Is it the ego or the soul that needs in this moment? You'll notice the soul never needs anything. The soul has everything. The soul is everything. Go ahead and see that little ego part of you in front of you. What does it look like, this little part that needs so much? Who is being protected by this need? Take a look and observe at the need of this little part of you. And just notice if our expectations are where they should be. Maybe our expectations are placed in the wrong place. Take a look and see. What does this little part of you need in order to no longer place expectations in the wrong place? As you begin to create your formula, begin to fill yourself with all the things that you are naming. The more unfamiliar you are with the things that you're naming, the more you need to feel it, be present, and embody it in your body. Get to know it in your body. And as you are in the process of feeling this new emotion in your body, You're getting familiar with this new state of being, this new understanding of how to be. You are reprogramming your expectations. You're redirecting your energy. And you're beginning to strengthen your own understanding of yourself. Go ahead and see this state of being as a color. If it were a color, what color would it be? Fill your entire sphere with this color and see your body infused with this. Very good. As you begin to clear your energy body of all these memories, take a look at all your little fractals of yourself in front of you, all the many times that you have repeated this belief system over and over again in your life. See it in front of you, all these parts of you. I want you to infuse all these parts of you with this new understanding, with this new information you've gathered today in your subconscious mind. One by one, you will feel as you fill these parts of you return back into your body. Your energy comes back into your body. Your strength restores, your vitality returns. Health is coming back online. Less pain in the body, less fear, less doubt. Go ahead and break contracts with all of these people involved. Call back your life force into your body. You very quickly are going to see how you reverse your centrifugal way of moving your body into centripetal. Just immediately as you feel an influx of energy back into your body, that's exactly what you're doing. Okay, so beginning to formulate the foundation for a Merkaba, formulation for harmonic order in the body. First step is to call your energy back into the body. Very good. Go ahead and allow yourself to inhale deeply and exhale. Ground yourself down to the center of the earth. And I want you to activate the chakra underneath your feet, expanding it. The second chakra underneath and the third chakra underneath. Notice how that feels in your body. You're doing all of this while your first three chakras are still closed. Allow yourself to now open your root chakra back into a balanced state. Open the sacral, open the solar, closing the heart just a little bit, the throat, the third eye, so that all your chakras are in alignment. And you're going to connect up to your crown. Go ahead and activate your eighth, expanding your seventh, your eighth, your ninth, 10th, 11th, all the way up to 24. And above you is a powerful white light of source. I want you to anchor that white light down into your body, down through your heart, down through the perineum, into the center of the earth, as you allow yourself to be fully conscious in your energy body. Open your eyes, anchor this energy through the body. With your eyes open, I want you to see your chakra system up to the 24th and underneath your body as well. You guys did amazing. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a joy to connect with you. And if you guys have any questions, I'll see if I can answer a couple questions before I go. You guys are amazing. The work that you're doing and your questions are just incredible. Wow, so many comments. Thanks, guys. Deb, thank you for being here. Arturo, thank you for being here. Saludos desde Mexico. Nice to see you, Arturo. Jay Zen, Deb, Spiritual Maya, welcome. From Ireland, great to see you. Angie, Deb, beautiful. Victoria Mayer says, if we have fractals of ourselves communicating with us across timelines, what does it mean for the collective as a whole at this point in our evolution? And what will this look like in the future? Yeah, so I mean, you see, we've always known that we communicate with interdimensional beings. We have all the ancient civilizations that have left us pictures of those connections and the stories that pass down through generations, especially American Indians and actually all of these core foundations, even Christ consciousness, right? The embodiment of the avatar of Christ and all the stories created around him are an embodiment and a manifestation of the cultivation of this energy body. And what happens when we connect with the angelic realm, we connect with the angels, which are these interdimensional beings, which we have always been in contact with. How we are in contact with them is through us, through ourselves. So, the more that we go into these higher octaves, what's going to happen is that manifestation is going to become much more instantaneous. Okay, and so everything into the point, because as I mentioned, our civilization is very young. Advanced civilizations, they're very telepathic, they're focused on instant manifestation. And so they've kind of gone through all the lessons of humanity, which we're just learning compassion. We're just learning what's right order, what causes harm. We're just learning to take responsibility for our creation. So these higher level civilizations, which have already gone through those learning lessons in many of the lower dimensions as we are, they integrate that into the way they build societies. So nothing harms something else. We don't destroy something in order to be comfortable and to live your life. You don't parasite on another human being in order to be powerful or feel powerful or have money. Those are very low consciousness concepts of being, which we're experiencing in this planet Earth, in this dimension. In these higher dimensions, everybody knows why you're doing what you're doing because everything is completely transparent. Everybody sees your intentions. So you cannot hide from yourself and you cannot hide from others. And therefore, the intention of creation is unified. It's like, I speak these words, I know what they're going to do, I know how others will receive it, and my intention for that is unification. So these are models of these advanced civilizations of high states of consciousness, of existence that we are learning from. And so that's what it means to be a collect, to be in unity consciousness, that we begin to live like that. Imagine how our societies would be. Imagine how we would raise our children. Imagine how we would be in our partnerships. Imagine how we would build societies. I mean, the whole structures of our societies, of how we allocate certain people in groups of social groups in societies, even, it's all based on economics. It's based on, who's closer to resources, who's closer to beautiful locations, who gets to live in beautiful locations based on financial status, based on, all kinds of things that we make up in order to allocate things and to play these games of control. So all of that doesn't exist in these levels. It's about unity consciousness. It's about harmonic order. And it's about each person knowing who they are in order to know their puzzle piece in the collective and to really live by that pure expression. We are coming back to a childlike state of innocence where we are here to deliver our raw expression. And that is what will heal the earth. That is what heals the earth. That is what heals you. It will heal you. So this is, one layer of that. I mean, I could talk for hours about what the future will look like, essentially, if this human race in this timeline is choosing organic reconnection to the divine. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that beautiful question. Will there be unification of timelines in the future, and what does that look like? Yeah, so everything is unified, whether we like it or not. It's just perceptions. Okay, so we are the ones that will see separation. Okay. And so, even though there will be people that choose to have different perceptions, it doesn't mean you have to see them as separate from you. Okay. So we're always one, and everyone's behavior affects each other. That's something that we need to understand. We're not separate from someone's suffering. So we're going to see a lot of people going down, the path of transhumanism, and we will hold space. We will hold space for that. We will hold space for their learning with compassion, with the experiences that they're choosing. And we will do our best to hold space for that. So that's unity consciousness. We have to understand we are one. There's no separation anywhere ever. Even though we talk about timeline splits, we're still one and we're still experiencing everything together. Okay, their reality might be different than yours. That's normal because everyone has different pieces of the puzzle. Okay. Your unity, yes. Thanks so much, guys. Beautiful questions. Please put your questions in capital letters. Totality of consciousness. Can you become the game of love? Thank you, Jason. Geraldine, I watched your video with Neil Arcturus, and I'm watching a movie in Ingress, which is about moving in and out of timelines, also channeling. And I'm so glad I'm not alone in my beliefs. Thanks. Thank you, Karen. Great to hear that. Karen, a friend of mine, a friend is a manic, very destructive phase, and I'm having trouble feeling compassion. She's not the same person. She's on meds. I wish I could help her, but I have felt fear. Meditation helps. Yeah, so I mean, the thing about meds is that, I mean, once we start getting on meds, it becomes challenging to access certain parts of ourselves. Especially when there's psychiatric support or something to try to regulate that. So all we can do is hold space. And as I mentioned before, when we want to help people, we have to have as much love and compassion as possible, speak to that internal part of us when we have the opportunity, that internal child. We have to speak to that child as much as possible. And then you can work energetically on a higher level contractually with them. Dissolve your contracts because that person is in your life to teach you something. So whatever is triggering you from what you're observing, you need to understand what is the lesson for you. That's going to help you understand exactly how to dissolve this kind of feelings that we feel. And so, maybe it's exactly the idea of having trouble feeling compassion. Maybe that's exactly why that person is in our lives. And so what do we need to feel compassion? Okay. We might need to change our perceptions of right and wrong. We might need to change our perceptions of control and destructiveness and creation. There is divine wisdom in all people, everyone, even the serial killers are teaching us something. Okay, so we just have to be very aware of understanding what the lesson is by paying attention to what we're feeling as a result of their behavior. That's where the gold is for you because you're the alchemist. So take a look at that, and you can always work and hold space and send the energies. I doubt bipolar disease can be helped without meds since this person is not healthy for one thing. Any suggestions? Love to you. Yeah, bipolar is a difficult experience. I've worked with many bipolar people in my work, and meds unfortunately sometimes complicate the situation, but I want to mention that with this is a very specific experience that this person has chosen. And we have to let them process what they need to process through that existence. Okay. I've worked with, so first of all, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not giving medical advice for anything about any of this. Um, but I have worked with many people that have, for example, done ayahuasca and ended up with bipolar. And so energetically, there's a split that happens in the energy body. And so we can repair that sometimes if the person wants to. Okay. But if the person doesn't want to, they need to allow themselves to experience through what they need to. Okay. Yeah. All right. Other questions, please put them in capital. What do you think of donating blood? Is it similar to getting DNA testing? How should I answer that? That's a very interesting question. I'm going to skip that question for now, but I will come back to that question another time because I'm going to talk about blood and plasma in a video, in an upcoming video. Okay. I'm new. Where do I begin? My love. Yeah, so actually, the meditations that I teach every time are perfect, even for beginners. But I do have a beginning meditation 30-day challenge that you can check out. It's either on my website as a whole, one time you can access it and play it. It's under the tab called resources on my website where I provide everything free, and it's many 30-day challenges and a bunch of free information that you guys can use in meditation, guided healings, channelings, hypnotherapies. So definitely check that out on my website. And if you have questions, I'm here for you. Just feel free to ask. Maria, how to cure insomnia? Number one, we need to rebalance the energy system and the nervous system. Okay. So we need to clean energetic hygiene, clean the mind, clean the energy system at night. However, a lot of cosmic planetary movements are also causing a lot of insomnia. So it's the same thing. You have to clean. The more clean your energy body is, the more you'll be able to access that. Okay. All right, my loves. James says, Geraldine, can you give me the locations of the earth chakras in the US? That's such a big question. I'll have to come back to that one, James. I have shared them here before, but let's do that next week. Okay, I'll go deeper into them next week. All right, guys, I love you so much. It is a great joy, and I wish you an incredible week, and I will see you next week. Oh, my love. See you. Love you. Love you.